Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's preview as the Lions are back in action against the Pumas this weekend. The game was postponed last weekend against the Bulls, which will be played next week Wednesday, with the time still to be confirmed as a result of the nationwide curfew in South Africa, which means that everything needs to be finished by 8 o'clock. So it is expected that the game will be shifted, at least in terms of the kickoff time. But tomorrow, Lions versus Pumas, 2 o'clock South African time. And, the Pumas pretty much playing for pride these days, whereas the Lions are playing to try and get a home semi-final. And with the Western Province against the Cheetahs, this is a massive opportunity for the Lions to overtake the Western Province and try and put themselves in a really good position to try and secure a home semi-final. Just 2 games left for the Lions. They play their Bulls game against next week Wednesday, and then they have a bye next weekend. So, 2 more big games for them, and then they've got a week where they can sort of gather themselves and prepare for what should be a semi-final berth in the Currie Cup. So, if you look at that, you can understand why Lions is named quite a strong side. The Pumas have made 7 changes across the team, 3 in the starting lineup, 4 on the bench. But before we get into the teams themselves, please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner there. Smash a like on the video as well. So if we have a look at the team, the Lions team, the big changes are in the bench with... especially in terms of tight head, where Vian Herbst is getting his first start of the season, and he will partner Jakob Asaki and Dylan Smith, who's been very impressive since getting a chance with the injury to Steve Satole, which he is expected to recover in the next couple of weeks, so he should be hopefully back for the Lions in the semi-finals. But then on the bench, Ruandre and Carlusardi will provide cover, so 2 tight heads there. Ruandre being used as a loose head cover as well, which is very useful because you've got a lot of experience in Ruandre, as well as Carlusardi, who's been so impressive, and there's no doubt that he will come back into the side very soon, as he is the number 1 tight end at the Lions. But Jakob Asaki, for me, has been sort of growing as the competition has been going. I've been quite impressed with him. Willem Alberts and Marvin Orie keep their place. They're becoming quite a good duo in that it's the physicality of Willem Alberts who's proving his worth, as well as the line of expertise of Marvin Orie. Jaco Kriel, Vincent Tuka, and Len Masane Tuka back in the side after an injury kept him out. But Willem van der Sluys is back on the bench. He was very good in place of Vincent Tuka. Andre Warner keeps his place, as does obviously the captain Alton Yankees. Courtnall Kassan and Steven Pienaar continue to wing it, and Dan Creel and Wandisile Similani are the centre pairing. Tiaan Swanepoel keeps his place. He's been very impressive since coming back. On the bench, Yannick Nkampa, a very exciting youngster, but hasn't quite, for me, taken a step up yet. Reynard Nochnagel, Willem van der Sluys provide a bit of bulk there. Morne van den Berg, a nice live wire, exciting to come off the bench, as is Manuel Russ, who hasn't had a lot of opportunity. Looked quite good when he started coming through the system. Still very young, but has had limited opportunities since signing both Dan Creel and Burger Odendaal in sort of where he would like to be playing. And obviously, the form of Wandisile Similani means that you just cannot leave him out of any side at the moment. Marnus Koolman rounds out the bench. So no Roelof Smit, no Burger Odendaal. So missing a couple of big names, but it's still a very, very good Lions outfit, and they've definitely been looking a lot better in the last couple of weeks. They're taking massive confidence, beating the Western Province, followed by beating the Sharks, followed by beating the Cheetahs. They are in some very, very good form, and credit to Ivan van Rooyen, who sort of rode the wave of a lot of criticism. People are doubting his ability, people doubting the squad of the Lions. They are a young squad, and some people sort of saying they don't even deserve to be in the Rainbow Cup. But at the moment they currently sit 3rd, and a win this weekend could take them up to potentially 2nd. So a lot to play for the Lions, and probably more for the Lions to play for than the Bulls next week, depending on how various results go. In terms of the Puma side, there have been quite a few changes made, mostly on the bench though. So if you look at the changes, Darren Landsberg has come in, as does Ginter Smuts, and Ali Ngajima starts inside centre. So Morgan Nadir, Simon Vestraat, and Ignatius Prinsloo, quite a settled front row. Darren Liesberg comes in for the injured Louis Roots, and Peter Janssen van Vuren will captain the side as usual. Daniel Martins, Pumzile Makwandana, and Willie Engelbrecht are a very settled loose trio as well. Willie Engelbrecht, full of energy, loves to run the ball up. He will be a key figure in that pack, and that he's one of the main ball carriers, and he will try and get over the advantage line. But that front row really needs to step up this weekend, because that is where the Lions have been getting a lot better. With the experience of Yanni Duplessis coming in, with Carlusardi, they've got such good scrummages within that pack that they are really providing a big platform, which has meant that the Lions backline can start to express themselves. Ginter Smuts is back in the side, and I think the biggest plus from having him in place of Crystal September is his goal kicking, because we saw last weekend if Devin Williams just kicked a little bit better, they should have got something out of the game, but they didn't, because the goal kicking just wasn't good enough at the end of the day. But Devin Williams will start at fly half. Etienne Talliard and Luther Obi are the wings. Good hard workers. Luther Obi particularly likes to try and stay in the game and is always trying to make an impact on the game, even if he's not getting a lot of ball out wide. Ali Gujinam and Eric Cornier are the centre pairing, and Tapiro Mafura at fullback. On the bench, AJ Leroux and then Edwin Swart has come onto the bench, as well as Brandon Valentine will be the front row replacement. Francois Clemens comes on the bench, and Crystal September drops to the bench. Tim Bortas keeps his place. Alana Visaki comes onto the bench, and Wayne van der Bunk rounds up the replacements there. So it's quite a settled Puma side despite a couple of changes. For me, the big one is Ginter Smuts coming back in. Was very good towards the beginning of the Super Rugby. A lot kind of dropped off, and with the signing of Crystal September, suddenly found game time a little bit harder to come by. But he's back in the side, and I think brings a decent amount of experience with him. And as I said, the goalkeeping option for me is probably one of the biggest things, because it really is useful. To have you have to have a good goal kicker. We've seen that how the Western Province sometimes struggle when Damian Willemse wasn't kicking at his best. You've got to have a reliable goal kicker. It's such an important aspect of your game, especially when you are playing against sides who in theory should be dominating you, because if you can just get those penalties in key areas and slot them, you can always keep yourself in the game, and that's how you can cause upsets. So you keep yourself in the game and then try and get something towards the end, which is something that the Pumas have managed to do quite a lot. They managed to get themselves into a lot of games, get themselves into winning positions, but just haven't managed to get over the line. So they've got their 2 victories against the Griquas, but they should have beaten the Western Province, and they've had some really good games and some big performances. But they just haven't been able to sort of put together, much like the Griquas, and we spoke about that in the Griquas preview, that 80-minute performance, to be able to play from minute 1 to minute 80 and be able to get that result over the line, which is something that Jimmy Stonehouse will be quite frustrated, because he's seen a lot of progress and he's seen a lot to celebrate within his Pumas side, but nothing to show for it yet, and they would really probably target to at least have one upset before the end of the Currie Cup season. But it's been a decent season for the Pumas. Yes, they haven't won, but at the end of the day, you can't really expect them and the Griquas to compete. Financially, it's not the same. Resources-wise, they're not the same. It's just very, very different, and a very different situation for them. But let me know what you think is going to go down below. I'm going to go Lions by 15. I think they got a big point to prove. I think they've named a very strong side. I think they are playing with a lot of confidence. They would like to throw the ball around. I think they've got the capacity to score quite a few points tomorrow. But let me know what you think is going to happen in the game down below in the comments. Do smash a like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel. My name is Steven, and I will chat to you soon.